I'll do that.
Welcome, everybody, to Catfish Weekly, presented by Whiskerware Apparel, along with Doc Lang. Cindy, I'm Lyle Stokes, and welcome to the show, everybody. Doc.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
We got a good one tonight, man. We've been waiting for years to get this one put together.
Yep.
Going to be a lot of fun. 29 degrees in Missouri. Missed
22. 22 in Ohio.
And we got the Catfish Conference coming up in a couple of weeks.
No. 18 days, 12 hours, 28 minutes, and 52 seconds.
I knew you would have that. I knew you would. We got some new sponsors on the RigRap wheel tonight, Doc.
Yes, we do. And we've got, I want you guys in the chat. Get in there because we're going to do a giveaway in the chat room tonight.
We have new sponsors on the RigRap Prize wheel tonight is the Mud Bum Supply Shack, which is a $25 gift card you can cash in at their store. Use it online, however you like. Offshore Tackle, a great sponsor to Doc and I and Catfish Weekly. And Catfish Clothing is going to give away a t-shirt if you happen to land on their pie on the wheel. Pretty good deal.
Yep.
Good deal. We missed a couple of things last week, Doc, and I wanted to go over, before we get Michael and Terri in here, I wanted to go over, we've been talking about the Catfish Conference every week, and it's coming up, the 24th and 25th?
Yes, 24th and 25th.
We were supposed to tell about the people that was going to be on there giving the seminars, and I forgot to do that last week. It was run long last week. And Dave Hart is going to be talking about live well tanks and fish care. Eddie Good, Lowrance Pro Staff Instructor, is going to be fine-tuning your Lowrance. Plus, bring it with you for free software upgrades. That's a heck of a deal right there for guys that are wanting to get involved with that. Jeff Dodd, Big River Fishing, Tournament Strategies and Finding Your Edge. That's man, Big Daddy. Can't beat it.
Okay. Lyle, there's something going on with your mic. I don't know what it's doing. It's got a crack, real bad cracking sound. I just sent a thing to the guys, and they're saying, yeah, there's something wrong with Lyle's audio.
Where'd he go? If there's anything I can do about it, how's that?
No, it's broken up real bad.
We got a storm coming through tonight, so I don't know that there's anything I'm going to be able to do with that.
Okay. All right.
We'll just have to see how it goes.
All right.
Blaine Garrett, Industry Trends. John Jameson, Walking Baits and Early Spring Blue Cats. Daryl and Jason Massengill on developing a winning combination strategy, and that would be one that everybody ought to be interested in for sure. And Chris Souders is going to be talking about flathead presentations.
Yep, my old buddy.
Oh, did that help anything at all, Doc?
Yeah, I think that's everybody.
No, I mean as far as the audio.
No, it's broke. It's real bad.
Boy, I don't know what to do about it. It wasn't Michael and Terri. It wasn't a while ago, was it?
It was good a while ago, but it's pretty broken right now. We were catching about every third word.
Oh wow. Well, I don't know. There's not really anything I can do about the weather, so you guys just have to bear with us a little bit.
We're good.
See how things go.
We can let them do the talking. I can do the talking. You can sit back and not say anything.
Yeah, you know that. Michael and Terri, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Hey,
Thanks
guys.
for having us.
Great to be here.
We have been working on this for some time. I think I've been pestering you guys for a couple of years.
Yeah.
So
Well, you caught us on a day off, so we're ready to roll.
Good deal. Yeah, I love your videos.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Been a subscriber for quite some time, and just enjoy watching your videos. You can get tied up in them pretty good.
Nobody gets more excited about catching blue catfish than that one right there.
It's an addiction. It's an addiction. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good deal. Yeah, you guys do a good job. Okay, so tell our listeners where you guys are out of. I know you're out of Texas, but just kind of give us a background.
So we're at Lake Tawakoni, and that's how you pronounce it. We go all over the state, even the state of Texas, and it's funny. We'll pull in down the Gulf Coast, and we've got writing on our truck where we're from, and just even a few hours away, people don't they've never heard of the lake, or they don't know how to pronounce it, but it's pronounced Lake Tawakoni. And we've been guiding on the lake for, I don't know, 8 or 9 years. Been guiding for 19 total on Tawakoni and on Cedar Creek. But Tawakoni is about an hour due east of Dallas-Fort Worth. And what's great about Tawakoni is you've got the whole Dallas nightlife. You've got Bass Pro Shops 45 minutes away from the lake. It's just far enough outside of Dallas that you feel like you're out in the country. But at the same time, if you need to make a run into town or whatever, you're not far away at all. Tawakoni is one of the larger lakes in Texas, and I think it's close to 40,000 acres. It's a static lake. We don't have hardly any lakes in Texas that have current in them. It's a standard lake, and actually, it's owned by the city of Dallas, and it's Dallas's #1 water supply. We were told that 7 out of 10 glasses of water drank out of Dallas County actually come out of Lake Tawakoni. So there's probably a little bit of blue cat running in all the veins of most people in Dallas.
Now, what's your weather like down there right now? This time of year?
Typically is in the 50s average.
Yeah,
it was cold this morning. It was 22, but we average in the 50s, January, February.
Yeah, we catch those Arctic fronts. We're just far enough north that we catch those pretty severe fronts. We've had ice on the lake once this year already, but typically probably starting off in the 30s in the mornings, getting up into the 50s or 60s during the daytime. We have those days that we start off at 13, 14 degrees and never get up above freezing. But in general, our water temperatures on the main lake most down to 47, 46 degrees, somewhere in there, and then we'll get up in the coves and stuff on warm days all the way up into the upper 50s. Yeah. So your main lake deepwater bite is pretty consistent through the winter, but for those guys that like to fish sticks and like to fish shallow water, the lake offers a really good shallow water bite through the winter as well, which is great.
Now, what's a bait of choice on the lake?
Definitely shad, gizzard shad.
Yeah, gizzard shad is king. We have a big threadfin base as well, but our threadfin base, we lost a lot of threadfin this year on that last big Arctic front that came through 2 weeks ago. Had a big shad kill, slowed the fishing down quite a bit for at least a week. But if you're not fishing with big gizzard shad on Lake Tawakoni, then you're probably missing out. So bigger the better. Can't use too big a bait on Tawakoni.
Sounds like Wheeler.
Well, I've been told that fishing's a lot like Wheeler. So
yeah, big bait, the bigger the better they like them.
Hey, Lyle, you sound good.
Yeah, buddy. You're fine now. Yeah.
All right, good. Well, I can't sit here and not say something.
I know. I was trying to get it. I knew you couldn't do it.
Did you say?
Sound much better, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. And we got a bunch of people watching the show tonight, Doc.
Yeah, 105 in the chat right now.
Right. Pretty good.
Okay, so let's see. Next question. What kind of boat are you guys fishing out of?
Well, we've got 5 boats that we run, but we primarily run out of glass boats. We don't have any aluminum boats. We're a large open water lake. We have consistent 4, 5, and 6 foot swells on the lake during big winds. So we have to use big water boats. We prefer the Blazer Bay boats. They're out of Pensacola, Florida. They have big Carolina flares on the front ends, and they have the old Falcon style boat, but they've been upgraded quite a bit. And they've got a lot of the new the new cockpit milling technologies and stuff on it. But they're great boats. We run a ski, and we also have a 26-foot catamaran that we use on the days that no other boat can go out. We put that one in there, and we can always fish in that one.
That's usually my boat.
That's yeah.
That's my boat.
For some reason, this one right here always requests to use that boat on her
The
trips.
bigger the better. It's the biggest boat we got.
But
Yeah.
we also use it on our offshore trips when we're in the Gulf of Mexico. I'd say overall, the Blazer Bay is probably the best choice for what we do. I've had guys come down before from up north and bring their aluminum boats and stuff, and it works good on most days. But on those days that Tawakoni is rolling 25, 30 out in the Northwest, and I'm sure some people can chime in here. Guys that fished Cabela's a few years ago will know. I mean, it can be just dang right scary. It looks like the Gulf of Mexico. The lake's almost 6 miles across, and it's probably 11 miles long. It's just in the open body of the lake. That doesn't count all the coves and the arms. So when it gets to rolling, it really gets to rolling.
Okay. Travis Davis wants to know, what rods do you use, and do you use mono or do you use braid?
Well, we use the Catfish ugly sticks. Been using them for years. Had great luck with them. We are primarily open water structure fishermen in general, and so since we fish open water and fish underwater structure such as humps, ridges, ledges, river channels, things like that, we prefer the mono. I like our hookup ratios when we use monofilament with our circle hooks. I feel like we hook up better. I think if we were more tree fishermen or more shallow water fishermen that fish around a bunch of snags and stuff, we'd probably use braid. But Catfish ugly sticks, great choice. 7-foot rods. They fit well in our boat barn, and we tried using 7-foot 6-inch rods before. They don't fit in our garage. They don't fit in our boats real well. They don't get under the docks real well. So 7-foot works great. And heck, we've caught 180 pound hammerhead sharks on them, all the way to Jerry Dillard's 60-pound amberjack he caught on it this past summer. I know Jerry's probably watching right now, and it handles any catfish you can really throw at it. So it's a great rod for what we do.
Right, we're using them year round.
Yeah.
Good deal. You hear that, Lyle? They're mono users. Yes.
Can't do it. I can't go back to mono.
We get better hookups on mono. I feel like that there's more grace in the mono when the fish takes the bait and runs with it. I feel like it tricks them just a little better. They hold on to the bait just a little longer before they realize that circle hook gets them. And now the takedowns on braid are much more impressive. But I feel like we did a test on it 2 years ago. We tested, and we run 5 boats. We run a lot of trips, and we tested mono versus braid, and the hookup ratio on mono was about 40% better. So for us anyway. So I can't.
We do use braid on our channel catfish.
Yeah, absolutely. We do a lot of channel catfish, and this is Catfish Weekly, and I know we talk about the almighty blue catfish, but we do a whole bunch of channel catfishing. We catch about 20,000 a year, and we snag those suckers on braid. So. They bite so light. So
I take instead of having the stretch in my line, I build rods to where the tip does the same thing as the stretch does, and then I can take that reel and with that 80-pound braid, and I can put it on a stiffer rod when I'm back bouncing or something, and I can try to jerk his lips right off if I want to.
Yeah, I have some good friends that are up north, and I think braid definitely has its place in certain situations for sure.
It works good on the big rivers. It really does.
Oh yeah.
And Doc, we've back bounced together in the boat, and he's using braid when we're back bottom bouncing, but he's a mono guy, man. He loves that mono.
Yeah.
Well, here's the way we look at it. We like to use whatever works best. I mean,
that's right.
We're not in any certain school of thought. We're always learning. That's one of the mottos here with our business is we feel like we've built something that's going forward, but at the same time we're way open to learning anything we can. And we learned watching you guys show. There's been lots of little things that we picked up that we've put to use, and people always have new ideas, great ideas. There's new little things out there that help put fish in the boat. That's what this is all about.
Well, one of the things that I tell people is just because braid line works for me doesn't mean it'll work for you. It doesn't mean it'll work for Doc. It may work for a lot of other people, but monofilament works for Doc, and I can use it. I just prefer the braid because of the no stretch. I like that, and that's not for everybody. It's everybody fishes a little bit different, and if your success is with monofilament, then you better stay with it.
Yeah, and it's whatever you feel comfortable with. That's just because I like mono doesn't mean that mono is the way to go. It's whatever you feel is comfortable.
That's right. That's right.
That's right. Absolutely.
Another question here. Where was it? I just saw it. Daggone it.
Rolling pretty fast tonight, Doc.
I know it. It's going real good.
He's a talker. He's a talker. He talks, I listen.
While he's looking for that.
Got it.
Okay.
Do you guys anchor or do you drift or drag? Or all of the above?
Yeah. We may be anchoring, part of the day and drifting part of the day. It all just depends on where they are.
Yeah, it's funny. You mentioned the word, Doc, you mentioned the word drag. When Ryan Casey from St. Louis came down and,
drag, huh?
and fished, he actually ran about 30 trips for us back in the 14-15 winter. He mentioned dragging, and I looked at him and what in the world are you talking about, dude? I mean, dragging? I mean, I just don't understand dragging. So, we drift, we don't drag, but I understand what dragging is.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, like Terry said, there are times that on Tawakoni you have to drift because there's just no way you're going to be able to, where the fish are at that time with 4-foot waves, you're going to have a really hard time. Even if the fish are pinned up on a ledge and you can see them on your side imaging, and if you can anchor right now, you just destroy them. Yeah. There's no way to really anchor. So drifting, but the last couple of years, the fish just haven't stacked up real good in some of the areas they've stacked up in the past. And it seems in the last couple of years, drifting has put more fish in the boat overall than anchoring has the last couple of years anyway.
And even for me, like the last 3 years, I've really gotten into drifting. Before that, I was 100% against it. No, you gotta anchor. You gotta find them and anchor and get them. Yeah, no, I'll drift.
Terry loves to use the side imaging and actually try to pick her fish out and find a group of fish that she wants to try and catch, and then kind of roll the dice and play the odds and actually anchor up on those fish and catch those fish. And she's pretty good at it. She does it pretty good. She does it all the time actually.
And that was one of the next questions that's in the chat. What electronics are you using?
Good question.
Well, that's a great question. And I'm not here to say one is a lot better, than the other. There's a lot of new stuff on the market. I'm a techno geek. I've been using side imaging since it came out, when Humminbird brought it out way back in the day. But we do part of our guide service is we actually set folks electronics up on their boats. So, if Doc, if you got a brand new boat.
That's cool.
Yeah. And you had a brand new, 15-inch, HDS system or whatever, and you needed help setting it up, you bring it over to us. We'd launch it there at the marina, and I'd go out with you and we'd help, dial it in, get it all set up. So I feel like I've looked at a lot of the different stuff out there. I've looked at Garmin and, Lowrance and Humminbird and all those types of things. And I feel like for what we do, because we're not just catfish, we're hybrid striper. We do a lot of crappie fishing. Yeah. We go to the Gulf and fish offshore. So really, for what we do overall, we feel like Humminbird offers the clearest picture. Especially we're side imaging guys. We love side imaging. I feel like the side imaging picture on the Humminbird Helix 12 megas are about as good as they get. And so all 5 boats that we run have the Helix megas on them, and so far so good. Man, you can't really beat down imaging on a Lowrance unit. But when it comes to side imaging, we just feel like the Humminbird kind of takes the cake. So.
He's quite the politician.
Whatever. I'm just calling it as I see it. That's all.
I am agreeing with you 100%, man. You're preaching to the choir with me. I can't go back. I've had the other, and it don't work for me.
What do you use?
Humminbird. Doc's a Lowrance guy, and he knows them very well.
I love my Helix.
Yeah.
I'm lost without my Helix.
Well, like I said, I'm not here to knock it. We're not getting paid to say that.
Right. Yeah.
Sure.
But at the same time, we find most of our catfish that we catch on side imaging. Most of them. And,
I really that if you've got used to something, it's really hard to switch. I believe
it is.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep. Absolutely. All these fish finders, these units have just come leaps and bounds. It's pretty amazing. There's some cool stuff coming out right now over on the Garmin side. It's going to be kind of a game changer. There's a bunch of cool stuff out there, and believe it or not, I don't think anybody can read it all. You know what I mean? There's so much technology there. It's just it's crazy. And what's going to be coming out in the next 5 years? We're going to be looking at the stuff we've got right now, thinking, man, that stuff's dinosaur stuff.
Oh, that's right. My 1198 was my baby forever.
I
got it in a box. I'll put away.
Yeah, I saw it up in the top shelf.
Yeah.
I think that if everybody could use whatever it is they have to its full ability, you could still be using 1198s and 1199s. I know that I personally can't use 100% of the units I got. I think there's a lot of other people like that. But for me, there's only certain things I need to use. My units always do more than I use on them. And the guy that takes the time like you do, Michael, and figures all the stuff out and knows how to make those adjustments, it probably doesn't make a whole lot of difference which one you use.
I agree. And for the guy that's watching tonight that's trying to consider what he's going to buy, I would tell him, try to go out and look at some of these units on the water, because,
that's true.
It really helps to see these things firsthand. And if you've got a good buddy that's a Lowrance guy, and he's going to be the guy showing you the ropes and teaching you how to read the unit, then, it may be wise to go Lowrance. So.
Right. Doc almost had me convinced once. He really did. He almost did. So you push the thing and change screens, and it won't change screens. You got to shut it off and turn it on 3 or 4 times. And I'm smoking hot. We're in the middle.
I'll tell you what. It sounds like I need to get in the boat with you guys and just listen to some of these stories.
We got some stories here with Doc.
Yeah, because I told him, I said, well, I don't see anything wrong. I said, right here, there's a fish. There's a fish.
Everywhere's a fish.
Okay, so here's another question, and this is I gotta find this. I don't know if you saw me smiling here. Dieter Melhorn is in our chat, and he goes, what kind of wine is that in the corner, and why is it sitting there and not being sipped on?
I think he's got a great point. I'm not sure.
It has too many carbs is why I'm not.
Whatever. I think that he's got a great point. I think we all should probably have a sip.
I have Oktoberfest in the fridge that I'm eyeballing, but that's all right.
I've got some Diet Dr. Pepper here right now, Dieter.
Okay.
That's funny.
Well, I'll tell you, it's 25 after. Well, that's here. And we need to spin that wheel.
Spin the wheel. Well, guess what? I'm all loaded up and ready to go.
All right. So one of you give us a number from 1 to 5.
Go ahead, baby.
All right. Let's do
3.
Let's do 3. Okay.
3 it is.
Oh, I don't know.
2. 3. And the winner is James Dockery. And Doc, we have 282 people in the chance tonight. And Cindy is going to spin that wheel.
Cindy needs to be in
RigRap.
And James wins a RigRap Prize package.
I think James is I think he's in the chat.
I'm sure that he is.
Yes, he is. Wow, cool is what he's saying.
Your shipping information tonight after the show. We will package you some up and get them right out. Thanks for watching Catfish Weekly and playing the RigRap Prize wheel game.
Yep, that's right, Catfish Clothing. We do have some new people on the wheel tonight.
Terry, I got a message today from a mutual friend of ours, and he wanted to know if I could please announce tonight that the Central Texas Catfish Trail will be having a tournament February the 10th on Cedar Creek Lake with up to 3 people per team. And he also would like for me to ask Michael where the big fish are on Cedar Creek during the show. That would be awesome. I know he's on Tawakoni now, but I believe he got started years ago on Cedar Creek. So before I could get done with the message, he says, I'm really looking forward to seeing the show. Michael and Terri are great people and great fishermen and very fun to be around. Terri is a great babysitter, too. She kept our 3-year-old for us while Michael and us went off on an offshore trip. And that's, child care and guide service kind of go hand in hand, I guess.
Right, yeah. I was trying to remember what the deal was with that. I think their babysitter, his wife couldn't go fish. Yeah. And so then we went out to dinner. I was like, I'll babysit their little girls.
And Gabby is Jerry's wife, and she got a chance to go out and catch some big amberjack and some snapper and a whole bunch of sharks. Yeah. So
I got to stay home and play.
You know, we're lucky. We're lucky, guys, that I wasn't the one that got to stay back and watch the youngin while Terri took the guys offshore.
Well, I know that video that you shared with me this morning and I posted up where you took that young man out and put him on a 40, almost 50-pound blue, and his grandfather had took him out on that trip, and I was really impressed with that young man. He gets to fish in the boat, and you guys are still have it in the net, and he turned around, he grabbed Grandpa up, gave him a big old hug, like, thanks for taking me on this trip. It is a lifesaver, you know.
Yeah, that was an amazing trip. I love when we have kiddos on the boat. There's just nothing like it. Just, when they see that fish, when they see it hold a 40, 50-pound blue cat, it changes their life. It's incredible. It's really cool. That was a fun trip.
We got some stuff in our chat, and evidently people wasn't signed up when we got on, but we have some new players on the RigRap Prize wheel tonight. We have Catfish Clothing, Offshore Tackle, and the Mudbub Supply Shack. So we want to thank all them guys for getting on, and we talked about it earlier on the show, but some people must not have been in it, so we're going to tell everybody again, we thank these guys for being a part of what we do here. It's a lot of fun, and they give us some great prizes to give away.
All right, next question. Do you guys use planer boards?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, we do.
As many as I can use.
Yeah, we do. We've been using them now for this is our end of our second year.
Yeah, second season. We started last year.
We've used them.
Yeah.
And the good folks over at Extreme Fishing Concepts, Maynard Edwards, he provides a really good board that we use. There's other good boards out there. Those boards are priced very, very well, and they also hold up real well. And plus, Maynard's just a good old boy, and he likes to BS on the phone and hang out, and he's a fantastic guy. So, but yeah, we use them, and they work. And if you're not using them, you need to use them.
Yeah, my trip day before yesterday, that little kiddo, I told him, he says, which, we had 6 rods out, we were drifting. He said, well, which rod?
No, we were dragging.
Okay, whatever. We were drifting. He's like, Miss Terri, which rod do you think it's going to go down? And I said, I can almost guarantee it's going to be one of them planer boards. And we caught 2 of his new PBs, but both of those big fish came off the planers.
Yeah, and if you can watch that video, I don't know, I think you put a link, Lyle, on your page of that.
I did.
Yeah, so they can watch that fish being caught. It's like I said, it's a 50-pounder caught by a 12-year-old, which actually is only 8 pounds shy of the lake record.
Yeah.
But for junior, there's a junior. Yeah. Texas has a junior section and a full size section. Mm-hmm. But that fish came off of an Extreme Concepts planer board. So
it was a great video. I enjoyed it very much. Now you guys probably don't get into the terribly, terribly cold like we do, but for all you guys that are going out wintertime fishing, go to Crusher Marine, get you one of these gaiters, get you one of these beanies, and stay warm. There's no sense freezing your butt off when you're out there in this cold weather, and I know you guys are out there. And Believe me, I walk the dog 2 or 3 times a day. It was 5 degrees this morning. I don't go outside without them. And while you're at Crusher Marine's website, get you a survivor unit. It's the best thing you can put in a boat for saving fish if they go in a live well.
Good deal. Okay, another question. What rigs do you guys use?
What
rigs?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, different. Do you use different kinds, or what's your favorite?
Well, we have really it's I don't know if you want to answer this.
Well, just simple super rig. I mean, but I guess you can get more technical.
Well, I mean, yeah, we like the sinker sliders because we're like Terry said earlier. We may be anchored up for a quarter of the day, and then we may run out and start dragging. I'm gonna start using that word, dragging.
Yeah.
It sounds cooler.
Like dragging.
That's what we call it in Ohio, is dragging.
Wipers, so might as well call it dragging.
I know.
Wipers.
We fishing with so many Kansas folk these days that they go, were we gonna catch any wipers on our
I'm like, what?
on our catfish trip? And a year or two ago, I didn't know what a wiper was, but Kansas folk know what a wiper.
Yeah.
Ryan Nagney knows what a wiper is. But really, I mean, we like the sinker sliders because they give the option to pull off the bell weights, your regular lead weights, and put on your drifting weights. So, but your typical Santee Cooper rig is about all we use. We'll modify a little bit, but really,
like I modify mine. I call it put a couple dropper loops on it, and I have double rigs on them. So
yeah, we call that the Tawakoni rig.
That's some 10-aughts on them and drag some really big baits. So I've been doing really good with that this year. That's really been helping me.
But yeah, there's no razzle dazzle on our rigs really. We
do make our own drifting weights though.
Yeah. We do.
I'll make up about 200 every season.
As many boats as you guys got, I'm surprised 200 makes it.
Oh no, that gets us started. Then they're responsible for the rest.
Yeah, that sounds more like it. Is there a lot of structure on Tawakoni?
It's isolated.
A little bit of junk here and there.
It's a great drifting lake, great dragging lake. If you like to drag open water, it's a great lake for that. There's huge sections of the lake that hold fish that have very little structure or even submerged structure, which makes it a lot of fun to drag because you can drag for miles and miles and not get hung up. But there are also large sections in the very middle of the lake, 50 foot of water, that have a tremendous amount of like 5,000 acre patches of bodark timber that have been sitting in 50 foot of water. For the lake was impounded in 48, filled up in 1950. So it's been sitting in, for 60 plus years underwater. And like right now, the lake is about 7 inches low. And those bodark stumps, guys, are sitting 12 inches below the water in the middle of the lake, 50 foot. So the average guy that launches it at, like, say, Holiday Marina, which is where we launch up, and they say, you know what, let's just cruise across the lake and go look out here. If they're not careful, they're going to drive straight across 5,000 acres of stumps that are, 2 foot around. They're sitting 12 inches below the water.
And I see it all the time. I cringe.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure you asked some of the guys that are watching, so the guys that are going to fish the Cabela's tournament here in a couple of weeks, there's some crazy stories about running across that timber, and especially when there's a lot of big waves. So you just have to be careful.
How about the flatheads down there?
Yep.
It's a phenomenal flathead fishery. Terry, you had the little girl last year that caught that.
Oh, yeah. I had a 10-year-old girl that what she wanted for her birthday was a big blue cat. So she fished with me. Her dad brought her out, Gary Garcia, and they fished with me. And we did catch a couple of decent blues. I think our biggest was like 35. But our last minute of the trip, in the midnight hour, she hooked onto a big fish. Got it all on video somewhere. And big old flathead. Yeah. She was just blown away.
Yeah.
Oh, no, just blown away.
Yeah, absolutely. And hey, look at what Doug, was it Doug Stange, the fisherman guy that came down?
Yep.
I think last year or the year before. I think it was the year before, and they were just gonna fart around and kind of throw a line or two out while they videoed the guys and blah blah blah. And he ended up catching like an 80-something pounder.
I don't know how.
Oh, wow.
And it
Oh,
actually got it
wow.
all on video, and they actually showcased it on the In Fisherman TV show. So
Talk
now
about
it's right.
flatheads like that. Doc will be on his way down there.
Come on
Yeah.
down.
Hey Doc,
Yeah.
hey, it's an underfished lake for flatheads. It's
Oh,
a great
yeah.
rod and reel fishery for flatheads. April and May is when you want to be here, and you know,
That's
we
how
like
it
to
is up here.
Yep,
Mhm.
and they kind of come out of it, if you will, come out of their winter mode, and they're hungry, and you know, you can catch 5 or 6 or 7 a night if you fish live bait and you fish hard. So
Yeah.
you're fishing for 10 bites all night. You know, you're going to land probably 4 or 5 of them. So it's a good fishery. It really is.
Yeah, and that was one of the other questions somebody asked if you use live bait, and you just answered it.
Yeah, live bait on your flatheads. If you can keep live gizzard shad, that's the number one choice. But you know, always a secondary, easier way to keep them is your perch. But big live gizzard shad is golden here.
Do you know what the lake records of size fish that are down there?
I have no idea.
For flatty,
For flats and blues?
well, the blue cat was actually caught on our boat back in 2014 by a guy out of Wichita Falls, Texas, Jody Jenkins. He caught it. Was 87.5 is the lake record. Blues were stocked back in 1989 here in the lake. So our fish are, what does that make them, 20 something, 28 years, 29 years old.
Great growth rate.
Yeah. So we've got a healthy fishery here. I think the yellow cat, the flathead record is real close to that. I think it's like either a pound above it or a pound below it. So,
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So
Wow.
I would say this about Tawakoni. You're not going to catch 120, 130 pounder, but if you're wanting to basically kind of come to a playground or an amusement park for blue catfish, that's what Tawakoni is. You're between your 25 pound up to like your 65, 70 pound range. You're probably not going to go anywhere in the country and have a better chance of catching 10, 15, 20 big fish in a day in that range on one lake in one day. You know, that's kind of how Ryan Casey put it. Ryan's fished. I haven't fished near as many different locations as Ryan has over the year. But when he came down and ran trips for us, that was the thing he pointed out. He's like, I just can't believe the number of 20, 30, 40s, you know, 640s, you know, 350s, 260s, all in, you know, all in one day.
That's pretty much an average day on a trip for us. Is like what I always tell customers, you know, when they come down or when they're booking trips, you know, a good average day is 5 fish over 20. And, you know, most of the time those are all 30, 40, 50 pounders. We had a 75 and 85 caught just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
But we had a lot of 60s, a lot of 50s and 60s. Anyway.
Yeah, and then I still think the Cabela's record is still held here on Lake Tawakoni at I don't want to say it's 230 something, 236, 234, somewhere. Someone's gonna post it up, but it's somewhere right in there. And what's funny is first, second, third place weren't, but I think about 4, 5, 6 pounds apart. There was guys coming up. There was guys coming up to the weigh-in that had like 220, 215, and they're like, "Dude, this is a wrap. We got this, baby. We got this." They were showing up, and they didn't even make the top 10. And it was just one of those days on Tawakoni. And we have those days on Tawakoni where the fish just jump in the boat, and it's crazy how many big fish are here.
It's crazy how different they are, just one day to the next. You know?
Yeah, and that's true. Yeah,
it is.
Absolutely.
Now, is the boat traffic bad?
Not on Tawakoni.
No.
You know, even July 4th, big holiday. Less than 50 boats on the lake?
No, less than 20.
I mean, it's a fishery. It's not a party lake. It's not a boating lake.
Oh, really?
It's a big
Okay.
fishery.
Hey,
We've
Doc,
Wow.
Doc, when them fish are jumping in our boats, they're Asian carp.
Yeah, that's right.
They're not catfish.
No.
That's funny. That's funny. I
You
think
gotta be glad you don't have that.
Yeah, I can imagine something flying.
Oh,
Oh, it's not fun.
no, it's not. Y'all don't have any commercial fishing on that lake either, do you?
no, not at all. No,
Good for
and we
you.
recently have had the catfish regulations rewritten. It took about 10 years of work, but we finally were able to have the Texas legislature pass a new law, and that protects our big fish. You know, up until just a couple of years ago, it's 25 fish a person, 12 inches or bigger. So, you know, the trot liner, the jug liner, even the sophisticated rod and reeler that was on his A game, if he could manage to put 50-pound fish in the boat in big numbers, guess what? It was legal to take 25 50-pounders per person per day out of Lake Tawakoni. And
Wow.
Texas kind of, they looked at it. They looked at a lot of what a lot of the other states are doing, and they kind of realized they were kind of behind the times on the trophy blue catfish, and they quickly took care of that. So now the regulations are much more in the favor of trying to grow these fish and make them bigger.
Boy, I wish we could get somebody else to do that.
Yeah, like every other state in the union.
Yeah.
Well, I'm telling you, this man out here fought for years.
Yeah.
And met with them and the biologists and just even the game wardens. We had meetings and dinners and just trying to get them to listen. And they, and they did.
Feel your pain, man.
I
feel your pain.
It took 5 years just to get them to turn their nose and turn our way. You know, catfish are supposed to be eaten, right? I mean, the almighty catfish is to eat. It's not for sport. And it took a lot of begging and pleading and pictures and referrals for people to realize, hey, you know, these people, you know, there's a market out there that wants to catch these fish and let them go.
Yeah.
Well, you know, and all these other states are just missing the boat because they're missing out on all that extra revenue. All of our fishermen and stuff are headed down to Tawakoni and Grand Lakes of the Cherokee and Texoma and Wheeler Lake and places like that that's got big fish to fish because the commercial guys and the pay-like guys are raping our waters. And you know, they don't understand that all that money is going out of state when they could be keeping it right here, but they don't seem to notice too much. But we're working on it. We got a bunch of things working here in Missouri. There's stuff going on down in Kentucky and Tennessee and different places. So maybe they'll get on the stick.
Yep, we're trying. All right, let's, I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and give something away to the guys in the chat room.
Let's do.
Give me a number from 1 to 5.
Let's go with 2.
Oh.
Number 2 it is. There's 1. And there's 2. And the winner is Stephen Prescott. Stephen Prescott in the chat room. And Stephen, this is what you're going to win. This is what we got for you. We got an offshore tackle hat. We got an offshore koozie. We got an offshore lanyard with tweezers on them. And we have an offshore frisbee that can be an emergency cutting board if you have to have it. And I've got an offshore release for you. Send me a message on Catfish Weekly, and I'll get these out to you. And thanks for being in the chat.
That's a great prize pack from Offshore Tackle. And they're on the wheel.
Yep.
Michael, how far are you guys from Texoma?
We're an hour and 45 minutes.
Do you ever do anything up there?
I don't. We don't guide up there. No. We just don't. It's a great fishery. Completely different fishery than Tawakoni. It's a river lake, big river lake, Red River Lake. Fish is completely different than Tawakoni. Obviously, the world record came out of there several years ago, but fantastic fishery. Have all the respect in the world for those guys that fish it. But it's just a little too far for us, and, it'd be hard to leave Tawakoni to go fish Texoma. But it's a great fishery. It really is. If someone's looking for a fish over 100 pounds in Texas, that's where they need to be. They need to be on Texoma.
Wow. That's pretty impressive. I know we hear about those things, and so few of us actually go that direction. But we're looking forward to making some trips to Texas, and I really got a hankering for fishing Tawakoni, and I'd like to fish Texoma. I'd like to fish Grand Lake of the Cherokees, which is very close to me actually. I'm probably an hour and a half, 2 hours from there, and I understand it's a great fishery and never been there.
Terry and I, we want to travel up and fish. We've never fished current before.
No.
And we've wanted to go up and fish the Mississippi River and the James River and Wheeler, and we've just never got a chance to do it. It's hard to get away, but
Yeah.
One of these days we're gonna do it. So.
Well, if you decide you can't find enough current, come on over and we'll go up on the Missouri sometime and we'll introduce you to 24 ounces of weight.
I can't even imagine.
You know, if we're throwing more than 3 ounces of weight, you know, we're just throwing too much.
We're using skipjack like this for bait.
Well,
I can't even imagine.
I'll tell you right quick, Terry. I had a guy in Louisiana that I built some rods for one day, and I didn't know what he was doing. He was fishing below the dam on the Mississippi River, and I took him down there to him. He said, "Hey, can I cast 24 ounces of weight with these?" And I said, "Well, I don't know. I never knew anybody that cast that much weight with them." And he had some brand new pin reels, and he rolled up a bunch of brand new 100-pound braid on them and threw one of them reels on and put one of them big old sinkers on, went out behind his store. And I said, "You're just going to pitch that out there, ain't you?" And he said, "Oh, yeah." He hauled off and let the big dog eat. He said, "That'll be perfect. I'll take the rest of them."
Oh,
I would have never believed anything would have took a whipping like that rod took that day. And as far as I know, I've got one to put a guide on for him. And I think the rest of them are still going.
Wow.
But he would.
that's crazy.
There's a line at the dam, and you can only get so close. And he tried to get that 24 ounces and a half of skipjack the rest of the way there. You know, fishing them current seams coming off of the dam on the Mississippi River.
That's amazing. I
That's
fished,
a bucket list thing for me.
we fished 16 ounces of weight in the Gulf, you know, dropping down for snapper and stuff like that. But 24 or 30 ounces of weight, that's just out of our league.
Well, it's something that you do here. 20 is not out unheard of, and 16 is very common.
Wow.
So,
That's
yeah.
crazy. Yeah. Well, I've seen it. I've seen videos, and you know, it intrigues me. It's really neat. You know, you got to be on your A game too in that current. You know, especially anchored up and barges coming through and all that stuff. You know, you got to really be careful. Things can change real quick out there in the current.
That's correct. That's correct. So how many trips a year do you guys do?
I run probably 200.
Yeah, Terry runs 200. We last year I did 305, and a couple of the other guys did close to 260.
Wow.
Our goal this year is to do 1,000 trips. That's a kind of a personal goal for our business. We're probably gonna come up about 50 short, but we're growing and trying to reach that 1,000 trip mark.
How many of them are on the ocean?
60.
Yeah, about 60.
60 trips, sir. We have 2 different trips that we do in the saltwater. We do our bull redfish run out of Galveston, which is a fantastic. Actually, it's almost exactly like blue cat fishing. If the blue cat guys are wanting to experience something on the coast that's a lot like big pieces of fresh cut shad, circle hooks, big takedowns. Man, that bull redfish, those 20 to 40 pound reds are exactly like the blue catfish. They fight similar. Things are so. And then we do 30 days down at Port O'Connor where we actually we go offshore, 20 to 40 miles out. We catch a lot of different types of fish, from snapper to mahi to king to ling to lots of blacktip sharks, stuff like that. So,
what's your trip rates?
That's her question, right?
Oh, you mean for well?
Yeah, we had somebody ask in the chat what the
You
rates.
mean like here on Tawakoni?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, we get $575 for a trophy trip, and that's a full day trip. We're out there 8 hours, and then
that's for 1 to 3 people.
Yeah, for 1 to 3 people. There's a little bit of a weekend fee, but all that info is on our website, TawakoniGuideService.com, and you can see it's really detailed on what we do and what you get for those trips. But after trophy season, we're doing a lot of full day multi-species. So I'll do half day striper and white bass, and then the other half we'll do channel cats and blues. And so we do half days and full days. Half days $375, and a full day multi-species is $525. Trophy is $575.
Explain your multi-species, would you please?
Yeah, we fish for we fish for everything in the lake, just about. Well, mostly hybrid wipers, striper, white bass, is considered the scaly fish that we fish for, and we'll do that half of the day, and then we'll do catfishing the other half of the day. So let's say a typical day for me would be I would go out and get on and get some punch bait and catch some channel cats, go in, take a little break, and go back out and get on big striper white bass and try to limit out on those. So multi-species is just different fish that we fish for during that time period.
Okay. But you would do an all-day catfishing trip.
Yeah, we do that too. But typically, other than trophy catfish, trophy catfishing is what we do this time of year. That's typically all we're fishing for. So those are full day trips. We don't do half day trophy.
We don't.
It's just too much to get out there and get set up and get going and then have to turn around and come back in.
You're right.
But yeah, from December, January, February, March, we trophy and then trophy blue cats, and then the rest of the year we're multi-species.
Yeah.
In a nutshell.
One of the questions here in the chat is, do you still enjoy it, or is it more like a job now?
I can, for me, when those customers walk down that walkway and they're about to get on my boat, if my heart's not beating fast and I'm not excited, then I'm going to quit. And that hadn't happened yet. When I had that little boy out on my boat 2 days ago, 12-year-old, when he looked up at me and said, "This is the best day of my life." How can you not love that? How can you not love that? Not this season, but a year ago, I had a 90-year-old, he was 80-year-old guy, farmer, hard-working man,
From Iowa.
Yeah, never fished in his life. Never, not even a pond. Never even touched a rod.
Never been in a boat.
Never been on a boat. And I took him out, and we caught some blue cat, and we caught a couple of hybrid, but we were fishing for trophy blue cats, and we did. And after 8 hours, he looked at me and he said, "Miss Terri, I'll give you a sody pop if you just let me stay out 30 minutes longer." I mean, how does that not tear your heart out, And I let him drive the boat back, and he was just ear to ear grin. And I mean, I don't know. For me, it's, I know the fishing's tough, and it's just, it can be crazy out there, but when you see those small and those, I fish with men, women, kids, whatever, but when you see those customers happy like that, how do you get to see that sunrise? How do you get for me? No.
Yeah, I think you speak for both of us. It's the hardest job that I've ever done. Yeah. But at the same time, the reward is great. We're really blessed to do what we do. We love what we do. I still, I've been doing this 19 years. I started in 1996, 97, somewhere in there, 98. And it's the greatest job in the world. It really is. Yeah. But it's, it's also a tough job to do a good job, not be lazy. And, you can cut corners, but when you cut corners, your customers know that. Yeah. And you know that. And,
that's right.
That's something we don't do. We always make sure we have the freshest bait. For example, like we're doing this live feed right now. We've got customers coming in from Kansas tonight. When we get done with this live feed, we're going to go catch bait. So we got to get on the we got to get out there and catch bait because our bait's 3 days old, and I don't like to fish bait on the fourth day. Fresh bait. If you cut that bait and it doesn't bleed red, then it's not right. You're gonna sacrifice 5 or 6 big bites, tomorrow fishing on. Now the easy thing to do would be to use the bait, but I'm not gonna do that. Yeah.
We don't find frozen in our freezer. We don't freeze bait. We don't. It's always got to be fresh.
What's your favorite fish to catch?
Trophy blue catfish. I'm a blue cat girl. I caught my first blue cat with you in 2010. I grew up fishing. My daddy took me out. We had 4 kids, and so I was the kid that always wanted to go. My brothers weren't. I wanted to go. So I grew up catching white bass and crappie with my dad on Ray Hubbard. And I've looked at catfish before. They're okay little slimy things. I didn't want to touch them. I thought their whiskers would sting you. That's what I thought. So he took me fishing, and we were fishing for channels. And something hit my rod.
Well, we put 2 big rods on the back.
But I didn't know what we were doing. Yeah. And when that rod went down, and when I saw that fish, I know y'all get all emotional, but when I held that fish for the first time and looked at that fish and was like, "Oh my God, oh my God," there's nothing like it. I don't care. I've caught shark, I've caught ling, caught kings, I've caught caught a huge tarpon this year, 135-pound tarpon. Nothing compares to the blue cat. That's just my opinion.
Yeah,
That's just my thing. That's what I like to do.
There you go.
Yeah.
Is your bait hard to catch down there?
Not really. Not really. I would say this though: if the guys are coming down for Cabela's in a couple of weeks, bring bait if you can, because it is not easy. It's not super easy to catch. Especially, here's the thing: our bait runs up shallow and back deep, and it follows the fronts, and they're real water temperature sensitive right now. Main Lake's sitting at 45, 46. Some of the shallows are as warm as 50 degrees, and they're kind of in between right now. So I would say in general, no, it's not real hard to catch. But for a guy that's just coming down that really isn't dialed into the bait, it may be pretty tough. So, it's definitely a 2 to 3 hour deal right now, catching bait for the guys that are going to start out fresh. So.
Okay. Hey, Lyle.
Yes, sir.
Kenneth wants us to give away some sinkers, so let's spin that.
Kenneth McClure has been giving away 5 pounds of sinkers on our show through the chat every week for several weeks. And Kenny, we cannot thank you enough for doing that. And Terry, if you will pick me out a number, we're going to give it a spin.
Between 1 and 5?
That'd be great.
Okay. 5.
1, 2, 3, 4. I missed it. And 5. And the winner is Sherry Rebecca.
Yeah, girl.
Heck yeah. Sherry, if you will contact Kenny McClure on Facebook and tell him you won the weights on Catfish Weekly playing the RigRap Prize Wheel game, he will hook you up. Thank you again. We appreciate it so much, Kenny, for everything that you're doing. It is really nice of you to give away these weights every week. And I got to tell you, Doc, there's nobody in the world that fishes that don't need sinkers. That's just the way it is.
That's right. Hey, Kenny, are you coming to the Catfish Conference? You coming?
I don't know. There's going to be a lot of people there. Lots of people.
Okay, let's see what else. Did we miss anything here?
I'm sure we did. There has been tons and tons of stuff going by that I can't.
I know. I've been keeping up with most of it.
I'm way behind on the Facebook stuff, but
Dave's swearing a spanky time to spin. Oh boy.
Yeah. So when people want to get a hold of you guys, how do they get a hold of you?
Yeah.
The best way to get a hold of us is just to text us or call us at 903-441-3937. There's a couple of different ways you can also book a trip. You can just go to our website, just Google Tawakoni guide service. We'll pop up first in Google.
I say Michael Littlejohn's Lake Tawakoni guide service.
Yeah.
There's another one.
And here's another thing too. We have an interactive online scheduler. So if you really don't know a date, you can actually log on our website. You can pick from the list of guides, and then you can choose the guide, and then it'll pull up his individual calendar on what days he's available. And then you can actually click on it, and you can book right there. Works really good. We're gonna trophy blue catfish until about March 20th, and then we're gonna be switching over to box fish, big numbers of blue cats in the 2 to 6 pound range, and that'll go through the end of April and into May, and then at that point, it's gonna be channel catfish until next November. So.
Yep. And if you want to book with me, I'm not on the website as far as like people can click and pick me. So if you're wanting to particularly just fish with me, just give me a call or go on our website.
Wow. Well, one of your clients is he's on the chat. His name is Chris Dixon. He said, the day my son and I fished with Michael, we had an 85, a 58, a 57, a 50, a 42, and a 30.
Wow.
He said it was a great day.
Yeah, I'm thinking so.
That's an awesome day.
Our 5-fish stringer that day went right at 300 pounds.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, it was that's the largest fish that we've caught
Other than the record.
in our guide service for years and years and years, except the lake record caught back in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
So I think actually that fish, we're still kind of way pre-spawn. Once that fish loads up with eggs here in another two months or so, towards the end of March, that fish right there is going to be well over the lake record. So she's out there. You got to get the right bait in front of her at the right time, baby.
Yep.
Man.
It's going to be February. I think the record's going to come out of the lake very soon.
Yeah,
The new record.
Yeah.
If this February, if maybe March, we might get it in March.
Yep.
It'll happen soon.
Yeah.
It's this time.
It's time. Yeah.
I hope I catch it. I hope my customers catch it. He always skunks me and drives me crazy.
Here's another question. Where are the fish? Are they deep or shallow right now?
Oh.
Well, it just depends. Last week they were in 2 foot. Now I'm catching them in 20 to 30 foot. So I mean, it's weather related, it's water temp related. But if you ask me where I caught them 2 days ago, I have no problem telling you 20 to 30 foot.
Here's a great way to make a decision. If you're coming to this lake and you've never fished it before, and you want to know where the fish are, take a look at the 3 days previous weather conditions.
Mm-hmm.
If the last 3 days that is warmed up, don't fish deeper than 20 foot.
Mm-hmm.
If the last 3 days it's cooled down, you need to be fishing 20 foot or deeper. That's the best advice I can give you. And when I say shallow, when your bottom of your motor starts churning up mud and you think you're gonna, break a water pump, that's probably about a good time to start fishing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we got a really good shallow bite this year. Early, like mid to late January, right?
Yeah. We just
About third
we
week
just had
of
a warm up.
January.
These fish there's not a magic number. And that's what we've learned over time. There's not a magic number to water temperature for shallow water fish. The fish just need a reason to go. And that reason is warmer temperature. For example, the shallows were in the upper 30s, lower 30s, because there was ice in the shallows 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Well, the main lake temperature was 44, 45 degrees. And then all of a sudden we had 4 or 5 days of 60 and 70 degree water. Well, those shallows went to 52, 53. And guess what? The big fish were there. And, I don't know how far they travel overnight to get there, but they got there.
They packed a suitcase, that's for sure.
And they were there.
And it was crazy. When
Hey,
you see
Doc.
it.
Yep.
Tim wants to give away some lights in chat.
Yep, I just seen that. I just went back to him. Okay, give us a number from 1 to 5.
Let's do number 1.
All right. Easy for you, Lyle.
Oh, you what? What'd you
Number
say?
1.
No, I thought you was going to do it for the people in chat.
Oh, I can do that.
Okay.
Hang on. Man, you caught me off guard.
One of our guides is on the chat.
Give me a
That's cool.
second.
Noel.
Easy.
Mm-hmm. I saw
Only-
Cindy. I saw Cindy.
Only takes a second and to randomize and
That's what she said. That's
what was the number? Number 1?
one.
Yeah, number 1.
The winner is Dustin Fall. Dustin, get a hold of Tim. He's in the chat and he will hook you up.
That's a heck of a deal. Thank you, Tim.
Thanks, Tim. Appreciate that.
Great products. It'll light up your life. So you guys guide year round. Show that again.
So we're looking at the because we were like, what are y'all looking at?
Oh.
Oh, yeah, they can.
Heck yeah. You guys guide year round?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody's on the water every day. I mean, probably like 2 days out of the year, maybe 3 days out of the year we don't fish.
Yeah. Christmas, New Year's Day, we try not to fish.
Yeah.
And then we try to take off 4th of July if we can, just because.
Yeah.
So.
Kiddos and all.
That's great. That's great.
Mm-hmm. There's somebody always on the water.
Okay,
Which is
Terry,
great for us though.
what's your biggest fish you caught?
Me?
Blue cat.
Me?
Yeah. Yeah.
This year.
70. Yeah, I've had a 70. Now my customers, I had one day where we had 3 in the 80s, three at the 80 mark. But for me personally, 70 is my biggest fish, and I'm really trying to break that this year.
Oh, heck yeah. Michael, what's the biggest blue cat you caught?
Well, my biggest blue cat's 81,
Where'd
and
you get that?
I caught that on my birthday, which is on Halloween. And I woke up that morning, didn't know what I wanted to do for my birthday, and my wife asked me, and I told her, I said, I want you to take me on a guided blue catfish trip. And I said, I don't want to cut bait. I don't want
to catch the bait.
I don't want to drive the boat. I don't want to do nothing. I said, I just want to kick back, and I want to be on a guided fishing trip for my birthday.
Reel them in.
And she said, I got this. And she did, because after about 30 minutes on the first anchor, I had a 44, and I told her, I said, that is it right there. That's what I got.
I was like, thank you, Jesus.
I was like, that was it right there.
October.
And I had, at that point, I had not reeled in a blue catfish in probably
a long time.
A year or more.
A long time.
Just because we've been, running trips and so on. And sure enough, it wasn't 30 minutes later, and it was already getting tired. I was like, you know what? You got a 44. We're good. But at that time, that back left rod just went off. And I mean, that sucker pulled drag. And it took about, we got it all on video. We got it on GoPro. And it took about probably 10 minutes to land that fish. Yeah. And it weighed 81 pounds. And I caught that on my birthday. And to date, that's my biggest blue. So, and
cool.
I got, So, and I got that on the
guy.
That's right. I got the best guy on the lake.
Heck yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's a great fish, 81. You was talking about there being so many 40s through 60-pound fish down there. I'll tell you what, most tournaments that we go to on a 3-fish limit, I would take that. And you might not win them all, but you'll usually be in the money with 3 40 to 60-pound fish.
Absolutely. I agree with that 100%. I mean, even at the 5-fish limit, I always say if you manage 150 pounds, you're typically going to be somewhere on Tawakoni. You're going to be somewhere in the money.
Yeah.
Typically. Then you'll have those weird days that it's over 200, but typically 150 will get you the money.
We won at 2012. We won the Cabela's, and we had 112 pounds.
119, I think.
Something like that. We were like, "There's no way you're even gonna."
Well, it's one of those times you're fishing a tournament, and and that's why I always say go weigh in at a tournament because you never know.
That's right.
What's going on, and typically if it's slow for you, it's also slow for most everybody else.
Yep.
And opposite, if it's really, really good for you, it's probably really, really good for a lot of other people.
I agree with that. And I always figure that somebody is on them.
Yeah.
And that's that's right. We happened to be that boat that day. We got lucky. We were on the boat that day. We never moved anchor that day. We fished the river channel. You can look up at a lake and tell when the lake's not fishing good. Boats are moving everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
People aren't fishing. They're looking. And we just got lucky. We caught all those fish that morning in the first 2 hours. We had our 5-fish stringer in the first 2 hours, and we just kind of farted around the rest of the day on anchor trying to better our stringer. But kind of like Jerry said the other day when Jerry Dillard, when he mentioned that, they won that Possum Kingdom tournament. They caught those fish in the first hour. And then, like he said, it was just channel cats after that. So, but always don't weigh in because you're sitting on 60 pounds. You never know, that 60 pounds may be the ticket.
That's right.
That's it. You just don't know. And you have some big channel cat down there too?
Not really. Our lake gets really warm. We don't. 7, 8, 9 pounds. A 9-pound channel cat's a big channel cat. Yeah. Now Lake Fork, legendary Lake Fork Bass Lake, is next door, and it's got some tanks in it. It's got some 12, 14-pound channel cat in it. And wow. I'm not sure. It doesn't really have. It's got a few blue cats, but it's managed as a trophy bass lake, so they try to really regulate a lot of the type fish that are in it. So, but
they probably don't want the giant blue cats in there to eat them bass.
I guarantee that. That's for sure. They just recently got white bass in there, and the bass fishermen are hating the white bass, but they're there to stay. I can tell you that right now. You can't get once a white bass gets in a lake, it's a wrap.
It's kind of like Asian carp in the river.
That's right.
Yeah, right.
You're not getting rid of them, are you, Doc?
No, sir. Unfortunately, no. But we have been known to use a few of them for bait. They have sacrificed their life to make a catfish bite.
If they happen to be brave enough to jump in a boat, I'm good enough to slice a tenderloin out of them and use them for bait.
There you go.
That's right.
That's right.
Hey, 777 outdoors. We're looking at 18 days, 11 hours, 19 minutes, and 29 seconds to the Catfish Conference.
Awesome. It's going to be a blast down there. It really is. Well, Michael and Terri, thank you guys so much for spending your Monday night with us. I hope we can get you guys back on here. That you'll take another Monday, because I know there's a lot more stuff we can talk about, and we've had a great time with you guys.
Yes, we have. Been awesome.
Absolutely. We really enjoyed hanging out with you guys. We watch, most of the shows. I think what you guys are doing is awesome. I wish that we could the catfishing industry would continue to grow as it is, because what you said earlier, Lyle, about other states and the awareness of trying to grow these big fish even bigger, it's going to take guys like y'all to continue to promote, continue to push, continue to stretch, and make where you guys are doing that. So we can't thank you guys enough for what y'all do.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
There's a lot of people that's involved with this, so there's some stuff in the works. So stay tuned. Hopefully, we'll be able to release some of that stuff pretty soon. And there's a lot of guys that are working really hard. And what we need to do is everybody come together and make it happen, and be able to put enough pressure on Ohio or Missouri or Illinois or whatever state it is that needs the regulations done at the time, or whoever's got the best shot at getting something done, and stand on them guys to make sure we get these regulations put in effect.
That's right.
But thank you guys. We appreciate you being on here. Please come back on and share another night with us one of these days. I know that we'll have another great time.
Awesome. Thank you. We enjoyed it.
Appreciate it. Y'all take care.
Thanks.
All right. Thanks so much.
Thanks a lot.
Hey, see you, Doc.
See ya.
Great show, Doc. Them guys are awesome guests. And man, they catch some giant fish. My gosh. Did you see those pictures, those fish Terry was holding that Michael sent me? Man,
unreal.
Giant fish.
Yeah, I watched her on a video the other day. She was by herself and just pounding away. She had a big one on.
It's just crazy. Catfish Mafia tournament results for February the 3rd on the lower Potomac River. It was 17 degrees when they started. Thought they was at Winter Blues on Wheeler all over again.
Wow.
First place in Big Fish was Glenn and Tim. Second place was Andrew and Justin and Gary. Third place was Rob and Robert. Big Fish 55.8 with a two fish weigh-in of 98.6. Second place, two fish weigh-in 61.6. Now two fish weigh-in standard for them guys. And third place was 50.6. So please mention that the registration is open for the Battle on the Potomac tournament April 7th. So get signed up for that. That's a great event. They had a big time there last year.
Yep. Awesome. I don't have any results or anything. Wow.
I've got some messages, Doc. If you want to go ahead with your tip of the week, I'll see if I can come up with them.
All right, we're going to change the camera around here a little bit. Going to sit her right down here so that everybody can look at my telephone. Now, I found an app. I don't know if you can see that, but it's called Right Call. And this is a calling app that is on the web. I don't know if they make it for iPhones, but mine is an Android. And it's a really slick looking thing. So, you select your colors right here. It'll hold up to 5 fish. You select your colors, and let's say fish number 1, it's a 12-pounder, and then you push go. So fish number 2 is a 52-pounder, and you hit go. Now, see what it's done is change the number. So your first fish that you need to call is that 12-pounder. It's in red. The 52 is in green, which says you're in the money. And then you put the 21 in, and let's say another 25, and let's make it really good. Let's say you get a 56, and there. Now the 56 is a green. The next time you come around, the 12-pounder, which is the number one fish, you need to call it out first. It also gives you the total, which is 166 pounds, when you love to have that in a tournament.
You betcha.
With 5 fish. And that Doc's tips for the night. I got this right off of the web, and I'm going to be using it this year. Pretty slick little app.
Heck yeah. I hope Cindy's writing that down for me while she's here. I know she's looking for it already.
Is it good?
Yep, it's called Right Call app. RightCull app. Right Call. Pretty slick little app.
Heck yeah.
And that's Doc's tip for the night. And now you get to come back and look at my ugly face.
That's awesome, Doc. Thank you so much. It's a great tip. And I know that's something that I'm going to be looking for. I can't find the post I was looking for whatever reason, but we'll have to catch it next week. Things get going so fast. If you guys, I want to share something with you guys, and we appreciate all the thumbs up and all that we're getting. It means so much to us. Like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Join our Facebook page. We appreciate everything you guys do. But when you send these messages, try to send it to us in a format that I can print off it, because if I have to go back and look through it, I get unbelievable amounts of messages every day. And if I can't go right to it or remember who sent it to me, I can't find them. So, but if you send it to me in a format that I can highlight and print, I print them off, and then I have them right here and right here and right here, so I can read them off. But if I can't print them, it's really hard to do. And one thing that doesn't print very well is flyers, although I do like the flyers. Did you find it? Woo!
It's installed.
Woo! Woo!
Yep, there you go.
But yeah, try to send that stuff to us in a format where I can print it off, and then we'll be sure to tell everybody. If you have news about catfish tournaments, if you have news about results, if you have an event that we need to be aware of, or you want to make aware to the masses that people we share stuff with, we're more than happy to do it. It doesn't cost you a penny. We're glad to do it, but I have to be able to print it off to where I can do it. And some of the stuff that I can print off, and some of it I can't. But yeah, good IT person. You're right about that, man. Hey, by the way, I got my Northwood angle.
I saw that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Give them guys a shout out. Them are awesome people. But yeah, it makes it so much easier if I can print it out, because I'll just stack them up. This was tonight's stack, so that's how I do it. It works for me. And if I was these younger guys, Doc, we'd just have little sidebars, and we'd be able to pull that stuff right up. But I'm not capable of that, and probably ain't gonna learn it.
Yeah, and the fact that we're really busy too. I'm still working a full-time job, and
That's right.
trying to make lots of money, so when I retire, I can fish all the time.
Now, speaking of which, do you have the retirement date on your calendar?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
I got my birth date on my calendar. I do have that,
We talked a little bit today, and I know that when that day does come, old Doc's going to be fishing a lot more tournaments.
Yeah. But for everybody's information, my 65th birthday will be in 80 days, 1 hour, 40 minutes, and 6 seconds. And guess where I'm going to be on my birthday? I am going to be on Wheeler Lake fishing the Sea Arc Owners Tournament.
Awesome. What a way to spend your birthday.
Yep.
That's a great deal. I assume that Daniel and Lynn's going to go with you down there?
Just Lynn and I.
Just you and Lynn. You guys will have a blast.
Yep.
You guys will have a blast. Actually got an invitation the other day from some good friends of ours that we seen down at Wheeler Lake this year, invited me to go to Wheeler Lake to fish that tournament with them. I'm not sure how that's going to work out yet. It's a little far in advance for me, but I really appreciated that. And it's not every day somebody with the quality of people that they are that live in that area makes an offer to an outsider to come down and fish with them. And I thought that was really neat.
Yeah. So all you guys are fishing the Sea Arc tournament on birthdays on Friday. Just go ahead and bring the presents right there for me. I'll take care of it.
Cake too.
Yep.
And ice cream.
That's awesome, man. I'm so
Just
happy.
kidding.
Doc, that's really great.
Pancake and ice cream.
What kind of cake and ice cream does he like?
Any kind. Well, I'm not much of a cake eater. I'll eat the ice cream though. You know that.
Ice cream is kind of like pie. There's only two kinds, hot and cold. Doesn't make it to me how I get it. Just keep it coming.
Yeah. Good deal. Great show tonight, Lyle. Guys, everybody in chat and that was watching, we appreciate you coming and watching us here on Catfish Weekly every Monday night. We really, really appreciate it.
We really do. And it means so much to us that you guys will spend your Monday evenings with us. We can't tell you how much it really does mean to us. And while I'm at it, next Monday night, Steve Douglas is going to join us, Doc, and he's going to tell us what's happening, what's going to be going on at the Catfish Conference.
Okay. And and you and I are talking, is it next week? The 12th? That the 12th?
Yeah. After we get done with Steve, we're going to be talking about March 5th.
Planers.
That's March 5th.
Oh, March. Okay.
March 5th.
February. Okay.
We'll be talking planer boards, and we're going to get down and dirty with planer boards, tell you how to use them, how we use them, what works for us, what doesn't work for us, how much weight you can hang on them, whether you can use them in current, whether you can use them in lakes. We'll go all over.
We're bouncing everywhere with them.
That's right. And we want to thank Offshore Tackle for the boards we use. They are outstanding. If you haven't tried them, you really, really need to get some or go with somebody that's got some, because once you get them, you're going to want more.
Yeah.
They're really awesome.
So much you can do with them. You just gotta have a little bit of patience with them.
That's it. That's all it is. Let me try one more thing.
Okay.
Trying to pull this stuff up. I know Brad has got a tournament coming up that we really need to talk about, and I can't find. Cindy's got it on her little thing, but it's so small I don't know if I can read it or not. It is the United States. Now
There, how's that?
It's no, that don't do me no good. United States Honor Flag Benefit Catfish Tournament. And it just went away. That's crazy. Yeah, if it don't come up on my computer, it's pretty much useless to me.
I don't find it.
Yeah, now it's completely gone. Brad, give me this information again where I can see it. I'm looking for it on here, but I can't find it on my computer, and Cindy's screen just changed all as I was reading it off. But anyhow, this is a worthwhile tournament. Contact Bradley Young. He can tell you about it. It's a great event. It's going to be coming up here in Missouri in the next few months, and you want to make sure that you're involved with that. But be sure to watch next week, see Steve Douglas. It doesn't do any good for us to do this late in the game.
Hey, Tim wants us to give away another set of lights.
Okay, the United States Honor Flag Benefit Catfish Tournament will be at Stump Island Recreational Park, which is on the Missouri River, Saturday, May 26th at 7 a.m. You can contact Bradley Young to find out all the specifics on it. And I'm trying to think of the name of the town that's at. We've held tournaments over there.
Where?
On the river. Glasgow, Missouri. So be sure to get a hold of Brad and get set up for that. It's a great event. There was another one, and I can't find it at all. What was the other thing we needed to do?
Tim wants us to give another set of lights away.
A set of lights. Do you want me to spin, or are you going to do it?
You go ahead. I'll pick the number. Number 4.
Number 4. 1, 2, 3. And the winner is Jamie Lemley, Lemley. Jamie, contact Tim Hardwick with Whisker Sticks LED lights, and he will hook you up with a great prize. Those are outstanding lights. We use them all the time. Everybody should have some. They last forever nearly, and they're very bright. 500 hours or something like that for you, wasn't it, Doc?
Yeah, they last a long time.
Yeah.
Actually, I need to talk to my granddaughter, Star. She did a scientific research on it and did all kinds of stuff, and going to take them to the district science fair.
You know what? You ought to get her over here with you one night, Doc, and go over that with us on the show and tell us all about her project and how it done.
Yeah, I can do that.
I think that'd be a lot of fun. I'd like to see her on the show with us. She can tell all about one of her great sponsors and how her results was in her competition.
Yeah, because she was sharing all the results of her whisker stick lights, which Tim donated to her, which will probably end up here at the house, and we will be using them on the water at night when we're fishing together.
You can't beat a deal like that.
No, so we appreciate you, Tim.
Like that. Absolutely. Tim says he's had them run for over 600 hours.
600 hours, yeah.
Wow. That's a long time.
Yeah.
Long time.
So,
don't forget, folks, one of the best tournaments that you could ever be a part of is coming up in Quincy, Illinois, Fishing for Freedom, Quincy. If you are a boater and you feel like that you have the desire to take out a military personnel, whether it be past, present, wounded or not, sign up for that tournament. I promise you it's the most rewarding thing you can do to take these men and women out for a fishing trip. It's a great event. We do it every year. Fishing for Freedom, Quincy, go to their website and sign up for that. We need boaters every year for this event. There's no reason that our military people should be standing on the bank left out because we don't have enough boaters to take them out.
They got 115 warriors already signed up the first day.
In the first day, 115 warriors signed up. We don't have that many boaters up. How many?
33.
33 boaters is all signed up. So help us out. These guys just love to go out and fish. Some of them never been to boat before. Some of them never fished before, but they always have a good time, and they are American heroes.
good
All
deal.
right, Doc. Had a great show tonight.
Thanks, everybody, for joining us.
Tune in next week to find out about the Catfish Conference. Till then, for Cindy and Doc, I'm Lyle. Thanks for watching Catfish Weekly.